Big Cat Rescue is an organization in Tampa Bay, Florida that is completely about rescuing and saving big cats. Big cats, exotic big cats. Big Cat Rescue was founded in 1993 when the owner of Big Cat Rescue went with her husband at the time to a exotic pet auction to buy llamas. And when she was there, she noticed a man walked in with a bobcat cub, and this man was dragging the cub by the leash. So she was talking to her husband about it, and this one man started to bid on it. And she told the man, because she has raised a big cat or a bobcat before, and she told him that bobcats and any kind of wild cat doesn't make a good pet, and you should not have any kind of exotic big cats or like wolves and stuff. Shouldn't have any of those as a pet. It's extremely dangerous for you and for them. And as she told the man this, he said, "Oh, I'm not adopting it. I am a taxidermist. So when I win the auction, I'll take the animal to the back and club it to death, and I'll make a coat out of it." To this, she was not happy, so she outbid the man, and they took the cub home. And she was right. Having any kind of big cat as a pet is a no-no. That is not a good idea. It's a wild animal, and big cats should be freed, and not just like, don't let them out. Like, if you do own them, don't just let it go. Like, give it to a rescue that is trusted and that will take care of them, because having like a tiger or a bobcat as a pet is not a good idea, because you gotta keep in mind that this animal that you've taken into your house is a wild creature, and it will act wild. It'll act on its instincts. It will attack you. It'll tear up your house. If you have other pets, it might kill your other pets, or it might hurt them severely. And most of the people who do own these big cats don't feed them the proper diets. So the cat is also being poorly fed. Almost every rescue has been reported that the animal has either been declawed or defanged, or they're borderline starving, or they're full of cancer, or they have tumors, broken bones, poor eyesight. These animals go through horrible abuse, and these people just keep constantly abusing these animals for their own greed or their money, or they just think that they look really cool having a pet tiger in their living room when this animal is clearly suffering. It's having any kind of big cat, or like a wolf, or like elephants or stuff like that as your pets in like some kind of makeshift backyard cage on concrete is not a good idea. It's abuse, animal abuse. It's horrible, and people still do it because they can. And stuff like circuses and like roadside petting zoos are very notorious for doing this. And people go and they see that these animals get whipped, or they're malnourished and they're starving and they're sick and they don't perform their duties, so they get whipped and hit harder, or they get punished by not feeding them. And circuses are still doing this, and people are still giving them money and supporting them. We need to not do that. These circuses and stuff need to get closed down, because all they're doing is abusing animals and getting away with it. And the law, or they find a way around the law, that it's just business, we're doing it for business, the animals are fine, and they take care of them for a week so that the interviewers come and see that they're like, oh, the animals are fine, and then behind the camera they're whipping and abusing the animals and force starving them to follow their commands, and this is still going on. But organizations like Big Cat Rescue do everything within their power to seize these animals and bring them to Big Cat Rescue or other places they know that will take care of these animals and give them love, the food, the medicine, the care, and the big open cages, or not really cages, but like big preserves that they need to be a wild animal and healthy and live happy lives. And most of the animals that come into these places are very, very elderly, and they have seen their worst of their worst. And a lot of these cats that are rescued are very old, or they're babies. Most of the animals that sometimes the Big Cat Rescue doesn't always get the chance to save these animals. Sometimes the organizations that they think they could trust end up getting these animals and abusing them even more, or killing them for their body parts and their fur and stuff, which is, I can't believe people do this, and they abuse these poor animals. They don't know what to do. They growl and hiss at you, and people think it's aggressive because they're scared. They don't know what to do. They want to go home, or they want to be somewhere safe where they can get their right amount of food or the medicine, the medical care that they need. And these sometimes, or no, at roadside petting zoos, or sometimes we go to like a mall and they have like, come take a picture with a tiger or take a picture with a bear. They have these little cubs there. Those cubs are abused. They drug the animals so badly till they're just drowsy, and they just flop around, and these people are forcing them or grabbing them by the neck and forcing them to take pictures, or they have these collars that they have on are like choking them, and the little animal doesn't know what to do. And once that animal reaches a certain age where they're not cute and cuddly anymore, they're scratchy and bitey, these animals are either sent off to these protection places where they're stuck in a small garage cage, concrete floor for the rest of their life, fed regular cat pellet food, and just wishing for death. And sometimes some of the animals who are taken away or too old to be in these roadside attractions are not as lucky as them. They are either beaten almost every other day or killed for their body parts. And these people don't care because they're getting all this money. They're like, I don't care about the animal anymore. Bring in the new one, and then repeat the cycle over and over again until they finally get shut down. And supporting organizations like Big Cat Rescue or like these no-kill shelters, supporting them gives the animals a chance to live out their last years of this freedom and the medical care and all the food they can wish, the toys, and this big open area. And some of these animals feel dirt or grass for the first time on their feet, and it's like, it's sad to see that. And some of the animals, after being in concrete floor cages, like only the size of your garage in your house, suffer consequences like that, even if they do live. Like one of the cats from Big Cat Rescue's name is Mikey Kruger, the Kruger, and he has suffered from bad knee placement, to where his knees are like bent in, and he walks kind of at a weird angle with his back legs, and he's been deformed like that due to malnutrition and just being stuck in a concrete cage all of his life. And I actually think that yeah, like, he's gone through many, many surgeries, and there's just nothing they can do to fix it. Mikey is stuck that way for the rest of his life, but he is in Florida now, enjoying his vacation, living in Big Cat Rescue, getting the medical he needs to make him feel comfortable, and all the food he can think of, and just all this love in this big old cage, and he has his toys, fresh water 24/7, and he has everything he could need there, except the fact that because of past owners or where he used to be, he's deformed for the rest of his life. But he's happy now that he's safe. And some animals, like Mickey, come from either crack houses or people who exploit their pets so people can touch them. Some people that own the pets take their fangs out, or they take their claws away, declaw them. And declawing a cat or any kind of animal that has claws is basically getting this tip of your finger, just chopping it off. It's moving the first digit of your finger. That's what you're doing to your animal. You're just getting the first digit of your finger and cutting it off. And imagine that they walk on their feet. Imagine having that. That causes, in the future, could cause joint problems or just shoulder problems, back, spinal problems, and it causes all these problems, and people still do it because they're getting money for people petting their tiger. But little do they know that this tiger is suffering, and he lives in this little concrete floor and constant pressure on those knuckles. It's not the best thing ever. I'm pretty sure those cats wish they were dead or free so they can roam. You should never ever take away a cat's teeth or cut their digits of their fingers off because you want money. If you want money, you can get a job. You don't need to destroy all these animals for your own personal greed. And Big Cat Rescue is there to prevent these. I mean, they can't give them their fingers back or put their teeth back in, but they can give them the diets that'll fit them, that mushy diet they don't need to really break a bone, but they have all the nutrients in there, and they give them medicine, or they finally get soft dirt that their paws don't get as damaged as they are. They don't get any more damage. And it's donating to organizations like this helps them find more animals that they can save or expand their land there so they can have more room for more animals. And people volunteer there all the time, so you can actually volunteer whether you're actually there or on a computer. You can volunteer with money or social media by passing the words around, like, hey, this is doing this, or Big Cat Rescue is accepting donations like paintings, and it'll go to something called the Fur Ball. The Fur Ball is a ball, like a big party Big Cat Rescue throws, that all the items there are donated or handmade or given to Big Cat Rescue so they can auction it off. And all the money that goes from the Fur Ball goes to the big cats for their medical needs or their food or just enrichment. And just all the money goes towards them. None of the money is pocketed. All the money, 100%, goes to Big Cat Rescue. And they don't care. And some of the people who work there don't work there for money. They just work there because they want to save these animals. And they're happy when they see the progress of the animal, when they just get them from this horrible place to where they can record the animal and they see them playing in their little ponds or with all these toys or sleeping in the trees or just digging in the dirt and just living their lives as a wild cat. And these cats don't get just these little bitty cages. They get acres and acres of territory. And they're able to have all this territory, and all of their life they've been trapped in this little garage, and now they're in this big old territory, able to be a big cat, these wild animals. So what I am saying is that we should not support anything like circuses or these roadside attractant things. We shouldn't support those. We should do everything we can to pass these bills or these laws saying that all this stuff is banned, and that illegal trading, pet trades, or the fur trade, where they're killing animals just for their fur or their body parts, and just we could help ban all these things and save these big cats or these exotic animals from going through any of this pain. My name is Juliet Hernandez, and this has been my persuasive speech.